Okay, guys, before we begin, I have a quick announcement. So I'm going to be doing a little project that'll take me, well, I stopped stuttering. This project's going to be directed towards my 1K subs. It'll be dope. Just check out my shorts and you'll see it. First one's by Llama. It's called Hide and Seek Horror Stories. So let's enjoy.
When I was a kid, my parents would sometimes bring me down to my aunt and uncle's place to stay for the weekend. Mainly, I'd spend time playing with my two cousins who were around the same age as me.
Alright.
They lived on a small farm with plenty of open space, and we could run around doing pretty much whatever we wanted. If we thought we could get away with it, the three of us would sometimes cross over to the neighboring farm about half a mile away. It had been abandoned for decades, with a scattering of derelict buildings and other structures still standing on the property, just begging to be explored.
Oh my god!
This was of course a gold mine for three adventurous young boys such as ourselves.
Bro, why are they so
Especially
happy?
after my cousins told me stories about the deaths that took place in the house.
Why would you?
It was pretty classic fare.
Oh
Man
gosh.
goes crazy, axe murders his entire family, hangs himself, returns every night as an angry spirit looking for new victims. Good, grisly stuff. Even at that age, I knew they were probably
Bro, look at his face.
making it up, or at least embellishing old rumors. But seeing as how the setting lent itself so well to such tales, I allowed myself to buy into it.
Yeah, you're
One
like
afternoon,
5.
we decided to play hide and seek. When it was my turn to hide, I ran off for a flimsy
course he
brown
did.
barn that had living quarters
he
on
did.
top, and climbed the stairs looking for a good spot.
Man is dead.
There was still furniture inside, and personal belongings lay scattered across the floor.
Why would you even?
I maneuvered over broken
You know
dishes,
what?
tattered clothes, and crumbling books, eventually coming to a small room with a closet. Jackpot. There were even long black dresses still hanging on the rod that I could hide behind. I stepped inside and managed to force shut the folding door.
Okay. When you can't get out,
My only illumination was a slit of sunlight that shone through the crack in the door
you better
from a
pray.
nearby window.
Better pray they find you.
I crouched down with knees tucked into chest and waited. Some time passed and there was still no sign of my seekers. I waited some more, debating if and when I should give myself up. After nearly an hour, this was starting to get boring.
I'm sorry.
My head
Play freeze
drooped.
tag. Oh gosh. Oh, he's dead.
I woke with a jerk.
Oh snap.
It was pitch black. Drowsy and confused,
He's
I
cooked.
forgot for a minute where I was or what I had been doing.
Bro, he fell
As
asleep
it came
in the
back
house.
to me, the realization that it was now nighttime and that I had been abandoned here filled me with sinking dread in the pit of my stomach.
I'll be honest, you can't leave.
I tried to get up, but a sudden cramp in my calf kept me grounded.
Oh,
I squirmed about, waiting for it to pass, when I heard a door slamming shut downstairs.
oh snap. Yeah,
I
you can't
instantly
move.
froze.
You can't move.
One of my cousins?
It's
There
the
was
owner
a
of the
brief period
house.
of silence, then footsteps at the bottom of the stairs. But not just footsteps, a thud too. After every other step,
You see,
these weren't the footfalls of a child. They were
grown
slow,
man.
heavy, deliberate. I held my breath, praying they would go away.
Go. It's
They
their
did not.
house.
The noises continued to ascend.
All right, and guess we're sleeping in here. Bro, what the freak is that?
After another moment of silence, the walking resumed. This time along with a steady scraping
Oh.
sound, like something heavy being dragged across the floorboards.
Bro, there
The
better not be a
footsteps
body.
made their way through the debris
better
and
not
wandered
actually be a
aimlessly
body.
through the various rooms.
Please, it could
I
be
thought
an
I could
animal,
smell
right?
something faintly putrid.
Oh gosh.
The constant scrape sent cold shivers coursing down my arms and back.
Please,
My worst fears were realized when the steps reached the bedroom doorway.
please do not
They got
come in the
closer and closer and finally
my.
stopped directly in front of the closet door. I couldn't see a thing. After an agonizing pause, they continued on over to the other side of the room and out the doorway again. They faded away down the hallway. I waited for what seemed like an eternity. There were no more sounds now, and I was trying to build up enough courage to open the door and flee.
Oh, you're crazy.
Three things happened simultaneously just then. I was bombarded with a smell I can only describe as fresh roadkill. I heard raspy breathing behind me in the dark
Oh
closet.
no, no, no. All right, guys, I'm gonna be for real. I just took a nap.
I heard
my
raspy
gosh.
breathing behind me in the dark closet.
Please, no.
And I felt hot breath against the nape of my neck.
No way, dude.
That was enough for me to hurtle myself out from the confines of that nightmare space, relying on memory and scant moonlight to navigate through the darkened house. All the while, I heard footsteps chasing behind me, closing in with terrifying speed.
What is he getting chased by?
It was a clumsy, torturous escape full of trips and bumps and blind stumbling. I never looked back, at least not until I had burst out the front door and into the country night. And when I did turn around, I saw absolutely nothing. There were no more footsteps and nobody was chasing me. That didn't stop me from running, though,
I'm
all the way back to my aunt and uncle's house.
Oh, the cops?
There was a police car in the driveway when I got back. My parents were there too, worried sick. Everybody demanded to know where I had been. Apparently, when my cousins still hadn't found me by evening, they'd returned home to tell their parents. Eventually, the police were called in and informed me that they had already scoured every building on the farm. The insinuation that I was lying about my whereabouts didn't go unnoticed. None of it made any sense.
So that house didn't exist?
It wasn't until years later that one of my cousins filled in a final piece of the story. He and his brothers had spent hours searching for me like they said, but the part they didn't tell anyone was that they thought they spotted me in the window of the bedroom I was hiding in.
Oh.
When they got closer, they saw that it wasn't me. A young boy neither of them recognized was smiling and waving down at them and gesturing for them to come upstairs. That's when they ran back home. All of this while I slept in the closet.
Oh my gosh. Alright, I think I have time for one more. This one's called Trick or Treat. It's still by Llama. Come on, I gotta react to Llama's entire
Halloween
channel.
night of 2007, freshman year in high school, and I was with my friends, Ivan, Ryan, and Jesse.
Wait, what the freak is...
All dressed as the Super Mario characters. I was Luigi since I was the second tallest. Ivan was Mario since he's short and buff. Not that Mario was buff. Jesse was Waluigi because he's freakishly tall and skinny, and Ryan was Wario because he's just really fat. So they were the perfect group costumes for us.
Oh my goodness.
We live in a very non-congested suburban neighborhood with a decent amount of space in between houses.
Okay.
On Halloween, that's the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
Less
you gotta
bang
walk
for your buck.
Yeah.
We were trick-or-treating for hours, way past dark, and eventually came the time when most trick-or-treaters were heading home. My feet started to hurt, and I had to constantly switch arms for holding the now 10-pound pillow sack of candy, but we planned on going until our bags were completely full.
Bro.
A lot of the houses by now weren't answering anymore. It was probably past their cutoff time for giving candy to trick-or-treaters. Approaching our next house, we saw a purple bucket on the stoop, which was the best feeling ever.
Oh.
I was the one to get close enough to realize it was empty, which was the worst feeling ever. I turned around when I heard a knock at the window of the house.
Hey, what's up?
We all looked at the window. Couldn't see anyone, but heard someone call out, "Wait." The door opened and an older man, late 40s, already balding, stepped outside.
Hey, what's up?
He told us to come inside so he can get us some more candy.
No, I'm good.
I said we could just wait out here.
Yeah.
He responded saying something along the lines of, "Nonsense, come on in, we'll get you your candy."
No, bro. What the freak is that?
Ivan stepped in and said, "It's alright. Come on, Dan, let's go."
I'm saying.
I told the guy to take care and apologized. He just stood there watching as we walked off.
What is behind him?
Not saying anything. I felt bad, but at the same time, that guy seemed like a creeper, and I figured I just dodged a bullet not going in there. If the story ended there, it wouldn't be scary. So of course, it didn't end there. We skipped a few of the guy's neighboring houses just to get further away, and continued on with our business. We were walking down close to the nature preserve now, so there weren't many houses around us. At this point, we were now walking back closer to Jesse's house.
Nice. Why do
I noticed Ryan had stopped walking, and I turned around to see what's up.
Yo, guys, wait.
He said he heard someone moving from behind the trees in the preserve. Now, this was before everyone's phones had flashlights, so we couldn't just go searching in the woods for someone.
What year is this,
Besides, we were just telling Ryan that it must have been a raccoon or something. You may think this is a bit of a cliche, but when things like this happen in real life, you always assume the more logical possibility. It's just natural. Why would we assume we were being followed?
What are you talking about? He's just
I
being...
had to put my arm around Ryan's shoulder and nudge him forward.
Oh my gosh.
A little ways down the street, me and Ivan picked up on the sound as well.
Uh-huh.
When we all stopped, the sounds of the footsteps from beyond the trees stopped as well.
Uh-huh.
Ivan yelled at the obvious stalker to go away, or we would beat the shit out of them.
Okay.
I knew he was just bluffing though.
How old are
I
you?
could hear the nervousness in his voice. The snap of a twig from beyond the trees triggered a fight or flight response in all of us. Me, Jesse, and Ryan all ran for it.
Oh my gosh.
Ivan was at first charging to attack.
What?
But he quickly followed after realizing we had all taken off.
Come on, bro. Let's go.
We ran down the dark street, and we all noticed the sounds of at least 2 or 3 pairs of footsteps crushing the twigs and leaves in the woods. The first thing we did was peek out through his living room window. We couldn't see anyone. We all had to gather our thoughts and discuss what the hell just went down in his living room, when all of a sudden we heard Jesse's backyard gate slam shut.
What the freak?
Jesse dove to turn off the lights. There was a click and a bang from down in the den.
Dude,
it was more than likely Jesse's back door. We all agreed to go down armed with knives and face them.
There we go.
Jesse turned on his back door light, but there was nobody out there.
This is
Just then the front door opened.
Come in there.
We all screamed like animals.
Bro.
Jesse's mom and sisters came rushing downstairs. They had just gotten home from their friend's little house party. We all rested assured knowing it was just them. Jesse explained what happened, but made it seem a lot less dramatic. Me and Ivan went home after that and called it a night. At 12:30 a.m., I got a disturbing text message. It was from Jesse. It said, "It wasn't my mom." I texted back saying, "What?" He responded back quickly, saying, "It wasn't my mom in the backyard." My fingers slammed the buttons on my phone, responding back,
phone is crazy.
"What do you mean?" There was a long pause before he finally told me that his mom and sisters said they never went in the backyard.
Oh gosh.
I told him to immediately check the backyard from his upper deck.
Call the
cops. He had already done just that. He also told his mom everything, and she had already called the police.
There we go.
They didn't find anyone back there, but Jesse did mention the guy who invited us in while trick-or-treating.
It was probably him.
Nothing ever became of that, and nothing ever happened at Jesse's house again after that one Halloween night.